of course, I'm gonna show you now my beautiful sorrel and sweet peppers. I'm gonna tell you something first. I harvested the soil from this bit right there, and then I pruned it on top, and it's obviously sending out new leaves, so that I can start sending out new fruits again. So I planted this after Maria, and I will happen to harvest some from it, and look, it's gonna possibly flower again. This is my sweet pepper that I got even during Hurricane Maria. Someone gave me one sweet pepper, one, and then I planted the seeds. And look at this, I planted the seeds, and they're all doing so well. All of these, look at this, beautiful, ain't it? This is just beautiful. I just love it. And of course, I mulch it. I don't want to give too much details because I want to do individual videos about all of this, but I'll give more detail. Here, of course, look at a pepper. I put one pepper, and look at all that. They're all germinating. These hands, they're blessed. Right. Of course, my peppers, sweet peppers, they're flowering. This one is seasoned pepper. It's not sweet pepper. This bunch right here. Sorry if I'm speaking quick, but I need to ensure that I do this entire video for you before my battery dies and before the memory runs out. Hey, guys, I need your help. I have no idea what plant this is. This is not a cucumber. I don't remember planting it at all, because look at this. Oh, I wish that thing could focus, man. Let me see if it can. It can't. It's not. It just sucks. But this is not cucumber. I'm not quite sure what it is. But it's very, this is the fruit. I'm really not sure. I'm trying to get to focus so you could see it, but I'm really not sure what it is. But it's doing so well, but the leaves are very rough, and they have small spikes on them, like the same hair follicles that's on tomatoes, that's the same I'm seeing on there. So I'm not quite sure if it's, I'm really not sure what that is. I'm really not sure what it is. But anyway, so I've got some sweet, not sweet, those are cherry tomatoes. Are they? Yeah, I believe there. Yeah, yeah, these are cherry tomatoes. Of course, my sorrel. I have to harvest this bit right here. I might do a video individually about it. So let's go on with the tour before the battery dies. As I told you, this whole area that I'm gonna plant cucumbers. My sister is on her way to town. She'll buy it from me, so I'll plant them right there. Another thing quickly before I continue. This right here is normal rainwater. Not rainwater, pipe water. What I'm doing, I'm allowing it to sit there, and I'm going to try my best for it to basically turn greenish. When it turns green, that means the chlorine in the water died out, so it's no longer chlorinated, and it's contaminated with what is the name? Algae. So if it's contaminated with algae, it's better for the plant. So allow your pipe water. If you are someone who do not have access to rainwater but a lot of pipe water, collect and allow it to basically spoil. Allow the chlorine to die out, allow algae to take over. If you want it to work even faster, put maybe like a handful of manure in there, or some leaves. Allow bacteria to take over, which will basically fight against the chlorine, and the bacteria will faster. So this is what I'm doing in there. As I told you, of course, this plantain tree right here, it was a massive one. Huge plantain tree, and then Hurricane Maria blew it down. But this one is struggling to grow back. I don't know why, compared to the others, which are massive. Single coconut, which survived. My turmeric, of course. Now about the coconut, one of the difficulties I'm encountering right now is this. All of this right here would have taken years, basically, to fall off, because the coconut is starting off. Oh, what a melon is growing right there. Ha! The coconut tree is starting off somewhere down there. The tree itself, I don't know if you can see it. See this? What you would normally climb up when it's tall. So all this have to come out before the tree reaches a certain height. But the thing about it is all those broke off. So right now the difficulty is that the coconut is trying to grow out, but it's growing out before its time. All this is supposed to be here still, and then it will take years for these ones to come out. But they are already coming out, and the tree is behind. So do you understand what I'm saying? So I need to find a way to remove all that, so that these guys right there can open up more. So this is basically forced growth. The tree is doing this to survive, but it's not supposed to be so early. Here it is, my cherry, of course. It's growing nicely. I'm trying to find, okay, here are the fruits, selling cherry fruits. My banana trees, well, this one is this is the banana, this one right here. Of course, adding compost to it. So this is the banana. I want to plant something there, I'm not quite sure yet. This is plantain, banana, and plantain all the way to the end. So this is my cherry tree. My turmeric, of course, growing very nicely in this very light soil. Can't wait to harvest it. And here's my cucumber plants I'm growing, and I'm growing some peppers among it, just trying to make use of the space. Of course, I don't like to do the video when the sun is on the garden. You don't see it properly, so I'm going to try to move very quick. This is where the other coconut tree was. As you can see, it's dead now, totally gone. So I will make use of this space. I will grow something here, hopefully something that will grow upwards, or I might try to move this eventually, get another one like this, or move this one, the cage that is the wire fencing, put it there and plant some cucumbers to just grow upwards there, just there alone. I planted another coconut tree to replace it. This one, planted it just after Hurricane Maria, got it by the base, so I planted it to replace this one. My pumpkin is taking over my planting trees right there, but that's okay. The pumpkin, they can take over, but they will not really kill the plant because they don't live forever, the pumpkins. Only thing I'm now, look at that, finally I have to keep my eye on this. This is a pumpkin fruit. Can you see the actual pumpkin fruit at the base of the flower there? So finally there's a female pumpkin on the way. I've got a lot of male pumpkins so far. All these are male. As you can see, there is no fruit at the base right here. Normally if it had the lump right there, that's the fruit, but there's none there. So I have a pepper growing there, also being taken over by the pumpkin, but that's okay. The good thing about that is that will encourage my plants to grow very nice, because the pumpkin is shadowing the ground and the ground is very cool and moist, so that will mean it will do well. If you have been wondering what's with my bottle project, here they are. One of my planting tree fell on it, so some of it broke, so I just have it there stored still. I'll eventually restore it, or when we move I will set it up in my new backyard garden. Cucumbers right there, very nicely. Now here's a story about this cucumber. Let me go back a bit. If you notice, here is nice and green and bushy, and here is like what's going on there. Bruce, that's my other dog, I kept him on tied one day, and he ran right through here and he just destroyed my cucumbers right there. So only this morning I tried to get some from that side and I put them to grow up on there instead. But as you can see, they are following my desire right there nicely. Added some rope, so hopefully some will go up on this. This is recycled clothes rack, so you can use that also in your backyard garden. Of course, I've got a castor oil plant right there. That plant, this is what we call cow pat. You can make castor oil with the seeds. Eventually when it starts to send puff seeds, I'll show you. My moringa, of course, growing nicely, very very nicely there. One of my projects is that I decided to plant plantain trees along here, so all the way up to the back of the garden. This one, I don't know what's going on, I feel why it's taking so long, but the good thing is that it started to grow when the pumpkin started taking over. It really started to push out because it needs sun, so it's starting to grow out more. My guava tree, I don't want to give you too many details on the guava tree, but I will tell you for sure, we've got fruits. We've got fruits, of course. I will show you more about that after. Well, in another single video by itself about my update on the guava tree. This is my not my carambola, my soursop or guan banana tree, completely recovering right now. Of course, it had so many fruits, but they died from Hurricane Maria when the hurricane threw them down. This here pumpkin growing nicely, massive pumpkin leaves. I need to really start growing different varieties, but right now it's a bit difficult. But I'm trying my best to clear out different parts. So peppers, I have to try my best also to move these pepper plants, because as you can see they're growing in stands right here. I want to move them somewhere on that side, so I will have to get help for someone to help me to carry the entire thing. It can move, and I will put it on that side where there are more sun, because they need sun. They need sun. They're growing good so far, but they need more sun. This area right here, I'm not quite sure what to plant there as yet. I'm going to try to get some cabbage, to plant some cabbage here. I've got another bush tea. You can use this to make tea, taking over, but when the time comes, I will clear off this area here. Of course, I've got but I've got a papaya, or pawpaw, trying to survive there, trying to grow up nicely. It's doing. I'll just let it do its do. This is the carambola. I'm trying my best also. I have to get someone to cut the top of the carambola right here because it's growing too tall. I want it to grow lower down so I can easily harvest the carambola, but I need someone to help me to cut this. So if I chainsaw my dad possibly to just cut this top, and then to start to send fruits lower down and to grow like an umbrella. So instead, if you cut the top and put something on the top like a bottle or something to prevent it from going upwards, it will grow on the side like an umbrella, so you can easily access the fruits to just harvest it. nothing much going on at the back here, just my plantain plants. Of course, I'm hoping to plant a massive papaya tree right here. This is a very open space, but I don't want to plant too much fruit trees behind there or vegetables. I don't particularly see what's going on behind here, so I don't want to take the chances. So I'll plant a papaya tree right here in the tire. I planted some seeds. They are not germinated as yet. I have no idea what's going on. The seeds may be expired. So as you can see, this is the casing or the package for the seeds. So that's why I planted them, but they are not germinated. So I will have to try to get an actual fruit. Or if I could, I would transplant this one, but it's too big by now. Also, if you notice, I've got a chain. I want to remove it, but I have a chain from this tree to my guava tree, which is over there, because the hurricane was so strong it burned my guava tree all the way to the ground. So I had to pull it up, and as you can see, the chain have a lot of tension. But I must leave it, or else the guava tree is just gonna fall down, because the hurricane really pushed it all the way down. Of course, my banana trees growing there nicely, doing pretty well. This one is plantain, banana, plantain. No, this is a plantain. No, they're all bananas actually. Yeah, because there was a plantain and the hurricane killed it, so I completely decided to put only bananas behind there. So all of these, except this one over there, is a banana tree. I've got a pomegranate growing right here. I decided to put a piece. What happened? There was one growing on the side from the container right here. I decided to put it in the ground, so whoever buys the property will get a pomegranate plant. So that will be okay, but I have the main plant in a pot. Of course, my golden apple tree right behind there. This is a dwarf and it's starting to flower. So this hopefully will produce fruit soon and I can get it. Of course, this is my famous and massive golden apple tree. Very, very big, growing nicely. Can't wait to harvest and enjoy some golden apples from that. So this right here is the end of the tour. Oh, of course, my avocado tree. I have no idea what's going on with this tree, honestly, because it's supposed to be producing by now. It's almost 5 years and it says it's not even growing really. So I don't know. One of two things I'm saying: either this is just a normal tree that they told me it's a dwarf and it's not a dwarf, or way below there's a rock. The root system must have reached some rock or something. That's why it's not really growing out. So I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I'll just leave it there for the time being. Oh, let me just show you something. Got some tomatoes growing there. And I've got a lime tree. But there's a disease attacking the lime trees in Dominica. Or the citrus trees. I am thinking maybe this is what happened. This leaf there started to curl up. It was growing nicely and then the leaf started to curl up there. So again, this one is in a pot. So if I have to move, we can move with it. That's why most of my main plants, I'm trying to put them in pots. Some things I can go with. I'm definitely going with my pineapple tree. I definitely going to follow them. So this right here is the garden tour. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If the camera is shaking a lot, please forgive me. It's my old-time camera. I'm using another high definition one which will stabilize. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to Junosuede Just a Commentary. If you want me to do any video individually on any plant that you saw, of course, leave a comment below and I'll try my best to do it. Don't forget to subscribe to Junosuede. Did I say Junosuede? Junosuede is my other YouTube channel. Subscribe, to Agrosuede Backyard Garden. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Of course, guys, I do hope that you remember a backyard garden in some ways will keep the doctors away. And Agrosuede is out. Let's try that again. An Agrosuede. Oh God, the fruit. Oh, what is going on? An Agrosuede is out.